over the weekend, this was the topic of conversation, and wanted to make sure we got to it first thing on the show, and that was Halo TV series. I don't think I've covered this yet, have I? I don't think I've covered anything regarding the actual show aside from mentioning it, like in my streams or my live shits or whatever. But yeah, I didn't react. I'm done doing reactions. I'll never do one of those again unless I'm reacting to like my own shit, if that makes any fucking sense. But so it was announced, according to IGN, in a talk with IGN, part of IGN Fan Fest, the executive producer of Halo and head of 343 Industry, studio head of Transmedia. Man, Transmedia. That should be its own like. All right, man, I ain't gonna make that inappropriate joke. Kiki Wolfkill. And that showing, and said that showing the Chief's face was important for the story the show would tell. First of all, that's a fake job. I just want to get that out there. But this is what they said. I think we set out to tell a character story and a personal story, she explained. And once we really got into that story, or what that story was, it became clear that you really needed to see the person in the armor and under the helmet. Did you really? You will see his face, she confirmed. For some people, it's been a moment 20 years in the making, and for other people, it is something that feels very hard to imagine. Or it's like not kind of Master Chief. That's not what it is that people want. It kind of defeated the purpose of why he was a thing in the first place. That level of basically being able to, hey, he's you, essentially, is what he was created to be. We absolutely respect both sides of that fence. Those who really want to see Chief's face. Who wants to see Chief's face? I would love to know who exactly is she referencing there. Those who really want to see Chief's face and those who really don't. But for the nature of the story, it felt really important to connect the Master Chief in a different way. Here we go. It's reimagining, guys. It's a different way. It's a different universe, different timeline. It's not canon, so that means it's a fucking free-for-all. And they're just using the brand. Look, I don't know how many more times I got to tell you, dickwads, because a lot of folks made fun of me, as I've talked about it for half a decade regarding Marvel and DC. They'll get to your brand, they make it to your brand, and then what happens is, while you were excusing bullshit that was happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe of DC when I was the one bitching about it, you just said it was a different universe, it's not canon, blah, 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 the book still exists, and then they come by and fuck your franchise, and now you like, oh, what happened? This isn't canon, no shit, motherfucker, I tried to tell you. You didn't listen, it's a mantle. Hell, it's just, Master Chief is just a mantle. Just a mantle. They can do whatever the fuck they want. That's what y'all told me. It's dead on arrival on a serious note. Now, there have been rumors, and I don't know if they are true. If it was true that like Master Chief was basically going to be sidelined as if the Halo series wasn't about. I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen any confirmation. Not saying that there isn't. I wouldn't be surprised if that bait and switch was what it is that they got you with, where it's like, ha, gotcha, bitch. And next thing you know, it ain't about Master Chief at all and his journey or anything like that. It's about fucking some side goofy character nobody asked or was interested in. And whatever crises that they're fucking having to experience. But I would not be surprised if they did bait and switch. In fact, it's probably best to expect it. But I would say, look, I'm not going to pretend like I'm as like hardcore about Halo. I played a fucking lot of it in my days, especially competitively. But as far as like the lore, I'm not going to pretend like I'm my what I am to Marvel and DC. I'm not, okay? However, I think we've seen enough to know that there's no reason to get hyped about this. It's DOA at best. At best. At best, at worst, depending on what way you look at it.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.